A dumbass voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for 9 straight years. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now. I'm no longer rocking with Trump.
I used to be a MAGA Republican, and now I've turned blue.
And it makes me emotional to know that I ever fucking stood by idly and blind and let that shit happen.
Because I know that I have been a Trump supporter, and I can no longer say that I am MAGA. And
I regret my vote for Trump.
I voted for Trump. I'm done. I don't have any more resilience in me.
But we need to encourage these people. Thank you for having the courage to speak out now. It is too late, but now that you're here, keep speaking out and please join us in the fight. That's the only way we're going to get through this, because we have to continue to welcome the people who are going to be suffering along with us over to the side of the fight if we're going to win the fight.
When I told you that Donald Trump is intent on hurting all of us, I wasn't kidding. I think the millionaires and the billionaires finally got the message. So I'm going to show you a short clip from MSNBC in which there is a CEO from Citadel. His name is Ken Griffin, who also happens to be one of the mega donors for Donald Trump and also for the Republican Party in general. And I want you to listen to his words. And I want you to hear his words. And although he didn't say it, his words are dripping with regret. Regret that he actually pushed Donald Trump upon us. Listen up.
The United States was more than just a nation. It's a brand. It's a universal brand, whether it's our culture, our financial strength, our military strength. America rose beyond just being a country. It was like an aspiration for most of the world. And we're eroding that brand right now.
And I agree with him. Donald Trump has erased what makes America great. And this is absolutely devastating.
U.S. farmers are regretting their vote for Donald Trump after their business suffers. Womp womp. Since China implemented their tariffs, farmers are suffering because soybean farmers, especially in the Midwest, are not being able to export as much as they're used to. I wonder why. Yet they voted for him anyway. They voted for him about 2 or 3 times, actually. I don't know how you thought voting for him would help you in your business when creating tariffs will probably hurt you. And he's said he's going to do this multiple times. But, another example of Americans thinking that other parts of the world need them the most. Brazil is the #1 soybean import for China. They don't need the U.S. Brazil is steadily increasing the production year after year after year, while the U.S. has remained stagnant. And y'all thought Donald Trump getting in office will help y'all? You put somebody in office who directly hinders your business. I need these people to take a survey so I can understand why they make the decisions that they do. But again, womp womp. You put somebody in office because of reasons, and now you're paying the price because of those same reasons. You just thought they wouldn't affect you.
So have you ever watched somebody set their own house on fire and then act surprised when it burns down? Yeah, because that's basically what's happening right now. And you know what, honestly, it's kind of hard to feel bad for them, right? So I don't know what they were thinking. They were like, oh yeah, let's build walls, let's kick everybody out, it will be great. And I mean, now look, their farms empty, businesses are basically struggling, their towns are now ghost towns. And it's like, what did you think was going to happen in the first place? What did you think was going to happen? What was your plan? Right? You needed those workers you pushed away. You needed them. But hey, you were too busy chanting, right? And now, no workers, no customers, no money. And honestly, it's kind of wild seeing people realize that they are the reason their own lives are falling apart. Because you voted for it, you asked for it, and now you're stuck with it. So congrats, you played yourself. Big time. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Unless you're cool with regretting that too.
Hey, Mom, do you think that the Republican Party and MAGA are the same thing?
Absolutely not.
I grew up Republican, voted Republican my entire life, and the leaders that I admired were incredibly respectful of women. They would never weaponize Christianity because they were not hypocristians. They lived their faith. They treated people with different ideologies with respect, not like enemies of the state. They would never raid the Capitol. I don't even recognize that. They handled hard issues, immigration and abortion, but with compassion. And I think because politics wasn't a game show, it wasn't cruelty for claps. What's happening now, that's not the party that I believe in. This is something else entirely.
So would you vote Republican again?
I don't know that the Republican Party exists anymore. This is MAGA. I will not vote MAGA.
I voted for Trump and now I regret my vote. Let me explain. Please don't explain. Please, I beg, do not explain. Keep it to yourself. I don't care. I don't care. Don't explain. Because I voted the way I did because I cared about other women, other black women, other women in general. I cared about other immigrants. I care about low-income people. I cared about all of that because I was voting not only in the way that benefited me, but the way that benefited other people too. You voted based on the way that benefited you. You know what I mean? So we are not the same because you don't have to explain yourself to me, because at the end of the day, if you didn't regret your vote, if somehow you were not at a deficit, you wouldn't regret your vote. I can tell you right now, if it came out that Kamala Harris had done anything illegal, anything wrong, as much as this man did, I would regret my vote easily, not because of any of her policies or anything, but simply because I don't want to vote for a horrible, shitty person. But you had no problem doing that, knowing all the facts. You vote the way you voted because you thought it would benefit you, but the moment it stopped benefiting you, you regret your vote. I don't care. You keep that shit to yourself, and please do not tell me about it. Because at the end of the day, I don't give a shit. There are other people that will literally go through hell. Immigrants that will get sent home based on their horrible situations. There are women that will die. There are children that will continue to get hurt because of the way you voted. I don't care. Because the way you vote, it's already happened. I don't need an excuse. I don't need a sorry. I don't need to know why you regretted it. You made the decision that you made. Now it's time for you to stick beside them. All I do hope, though, is I hope the worst of the worst happen to you. Because at the end of the day, friend, you hoped the worst of the worst could happen to somebody else. And you voted the way that you voted, knowing that it would have. So now it is your turn, and I hope your karma kick your butt. But other than that, I don't give a shit. I don't care anything else. I don't give a shit.
All I can say, I was a dumbass, voted for Trump only because of my beliefs. People around me encouraged it. I can think for myself, yes. But I felt at the time that was the better choice. Now I'm looking at it with everything going on. It was the worst decision I ever made. I wanted not to vote. But people said you won't be able to have a say in anything if you don't vote. I totally regret this. I shouldn't have voted at all.
I'm a liberal. Of course I know Trump voters regret voting for the most productive president in our lifetime.
I'm so sorry I voted for Trump. I didn't know he was going to take away Social Security from 150-year-olds. That he was going to defund trans operas in Colombia. If I had known, I would not have voted for him.
It's been a few days since I lost my job. I posted a few days ago. And I am now thoroughly regretting my vote for Trump. I had no idea that this is where it was going to go, that this is what he was going to do. You see Cheetos up there? Hi, Cheetos. Who's going to feed him? Who's going to buy my cat food? Who's going to buy my kids food? I had an absolutely amazing position where I was able to basically have America count on me. And now that's been taken away. I no longer have faith in the economy. I no longer have faith in Trump. I no longer have faith that we are ever going to find out how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. I no longer have that faith. It's gone. So you can crack all the jokes you want to. You can make fun of us all you want. But I was earning $45 a minute in hopes of figuring out how many licks it took to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. And now the world may never know.
I'm starting to regret my vote for Trump. So this video is going to touch on racism and the mass deportations that are taking place. I just want to start the video by saying I'm not looking to justify my choices or make excuses, simply explaining my thought process and my decision-making process going into the election in hopes that I can reach other MAGAs who are ready to leave the cult. So let's start with his comments about the cats and dogs. When I first heard that comment, I did think that it was one of the dumbest things that I had ever heard. I never thought that it was true, but instead of doing anything about it, I just kind of brushed it off as a joke, which you definitely shouldn't do. I minimized his behavior by turning it into a joke. And now I kind of want to touch on the mass deportation that's happening right now. So we are told that it's just illegal criminals that are being deported. Like, when I voted for deportations and stronger border control, I did not think that it would happen the way that it is. I truly think that it is illegal. It goes against our Constitution. And that's just how I feel. It's really sad and disheartening that people are okay with everyday people who pay taxes, property taxes, sales taxes, are getting deported for absolutely no reason at all. MAGA, this is so hard to see. I don't understand it, and I hope that you guys are just ignorant to it and you're not actually in support of it. But anyways, I want to get back to the part where I just minimized the behavior. We were told it was just illegal immigrants. We were told that they want to protect the women. This is the best way to protect the women. All the criminals are going to leave. You know, it's going to be safer for us. Just remember cases like Laken Riley. And it was just really kind of shoved down our throats, I guess, that they were protecting women. And I, like many other MAGAs, fell for it. I just wanted to make the country a better place for our citizens. I didn't think that they were going to start deporting literally anyone and everyone that looks different. I don't think it's right to racially profile, which is exactly what they're doing. And I don't agree with it at all. I don't support Guantanamo Bay. Sorry if I did say that wrong. I don't think that prisons should be built. I know I don't want my taxpayer money going towards that. I also just want to point out that Trump's administration said, like, this is for the greater good. And we're protecting families. And only, you know, illegal criminals are being targeted. I still think MAGA doesn't know what's happening or that it goes against our Constitution at all. And I really hope this reaches you guys, because this is really such like a disheartening thing to see. But yeah, that's basically all I have for the racism. I know Trump has been racist towards other cultures. All I can say is I don't know enough to speak on those topics because I was ignorant and I am trying to learn and grow from that. All you can do is learn.
Nah, fuck that. Fuck that. Joe Biden already bailed you guys out the first fucking time because Donald Trump screwed you over his first term in office. You guys seen what the fuck he did to you, and then you voted him back in again, and you think that we're supposed to have some sympathy points, or you going on CNN crying because he's fucking your shit up again? Really? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. The farmers in motherfucking Nebraska, Wisconsin, all of these states that are being affected, and they're trying to come on social media and the news stations crying now for sympathy points because they fucked themselves over by voting for this orange little bitch. Nah, it's too late for that shit now. Suck it the fuck up and struggle for the next 4 years.
Trump's remarks are very outrageous.
Obviously what he said is ridiculous and it would never happen.
I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised.
I'm here in Dearborn, the largest Arab majority city in the US, and the war in Gaza was a deciding factor in the presidential election here. In this largely liberal city, President Trump won, and that was a big deal. We came here to speak to the Arab American community to find out how they feel about President Trump's comments about taking over Gaza.
I voted third party. I think it's unlawful and delusional for him to think that he can displace Gazan people from Palestine, and that is calling for ethnic cleansing.
I voted for Donald Trump. The initial reason why I voted for him was that he promised to bring stability to the Middle East and, to focus more of our resources on our country.
Do you regret voting for Trump?
I feel like I do and I don't. It's like mixed feelings, because I feel like if I did vote for Kamala or I didn't vote at all, my vote would have went to waste. She might have won, and I don't think that it was in her best interest to have a ceasefire.
No one should be shocked by it. This guy's illiterate. He's never read a book about Palestine or maybe a book about anything.
How did you vote in November?
Stein.
Why did you choose not to vote for Trump or Harris?
If the Democrats would have won the White House, no one would have ever listened to us ever again. They would have said these people cry wolf, they'll eventually come around, or their votes don't mean anything. We couldn't let that be the case.
Okay, so I voted for Trump in 2024, and I am a young Hispanic female. And just over the last 2 months, I just didn't expect all this. It's been a lot, and I didn't think he would just come in and sign over 100 executive orders and start deporting illegals. And I think I'm starting to regret my vote. Like, I didn't vote for this much stuff to happen.
I need your help to save my farm and many other farms.
This farmer right here is a Trump voter who just found out that money he put into a program that he was told he was going to get back from the government has disappeared because of Trump's executive orders. He doesn't know when he's going to get the money, and if he doesn't get the money, he will lose his farm, is what he said. And I have a response from a Republican congressman when shown his problem that is absolutely abysmal. All that coming already. First off, look at how excited this man is when he found out that he was approved for a government grant that would provide him the money he needs to invest in his farm. This is what the government is for. This is what the government is for. Donald Trump and Elon Musk are destroying this, but this is what it's about, helping people get ahead.
Hell yeah! $25,000. We got water up here finally, so no more water trailers up here. We're gonna freaking water the cows automatically. We ordered the 13 waters to go across the farm and couldn't be more excited. Luckily, the NRCS is paying a portion of this on cost sharing, so we don't have to pay for the whole thing, but we still have like $10,000 out of pocket on this well, so that really sucks. But we're out here pretty good ways off the road and $25,000 pumping water at the top of the hill. Like I said before, if you guys have any questions on that cost sharing with NRCS, please let me know. I am happy to help. I'm happy to spread the word on it. They're not allowed to advertise it. That's part of the deal. So if you guys have any questions on it, please let me know. They are giving us $240,000 worth of cost sharing on putting 40,000 feet of fence out on our property. We're putting a well in. We're putting 13 waters in. We're doing some seedings out here with some warm season grasses. But if you guys are interested in doing any of this on your place, it's a federal program. You don't have to have it in certain states. You can do it on the state side also, but this one that I'm talking about is federal.
Get this, if Trump is found guilty of even one of the 78 felony charges he has been indicted for thus far and ends up in prison on parole, probation, or other form of supervision, Florida law states that Trump won't be able to vote, serve on a jury, or hold public office for the time being. So to be clear, in Florida, Trump's home state, he won't even be allowed to get elected onto one of Florida's wacko school boards. Yet, this despicable, diabolical, dishonest, demented, divisive devil can still be America's president? That's insane.